it's so interesting. You know, when Jay got here, he really saw himself moving into a traditional job, and that's what he really wanted. And I think I've heard him say he still kind of wants that. But I kind of don't want that, because honestly, I feel like the way of the future is not in 9-to-5s anymore. Like, my age group and older and slightly younger have been conditioned to get these secure jobs, to get benefits, to get 401ks, to, you know, pour into your retirement plan. We've been brainwashed to do that. But you have such a cap on your income earning potential. You're limited, right? You're limited to your raises. You're limited to what they say your worth is. And then also your time. They monopolize your time. They give you permission when they will allow you to take off to live your life. And right now, I'm 46. And I'm of the mindset right now that life is to be lived, for real. Life is to be lived. And I really feel like I'm under the philosophy now where get your expenses, get your bills as low as possible. Because when you really think about it, we are working to pay our bills. Most people are working just to sustain their lifestyle. Lower your lifestyle. Find a way to do that, whether it means taking on roommates. Y'all know I house hack. I rent out every single room that I can in my home. And now that Jay's with me, I had to figure out if he was going to be comfortable with that as well. And I get permission, and he gave me permission, because when you think about the money that the tenants bring in a month, that adds on to, I'm not even going to say building our wealth. I don't know. In my mind, I just feel like we're so far away from wealth building, per se. What I'm interested in is sustaining a lifestyle and living a life where I'm able to afford to do whatever I want to do, whenever I want to do it. That's what I'm interested in. And for me, what that means is, like, for instance, Hamilton is at the Kennedy Center. I want to see Hamilton, and I want to see Hamilton on the front row. Or not necessarily the front row, but, you know, up close, good seats. And so this is what I sacrifice for. This is what I save my money for. This is what I live a low maintenance lifestyle for, so that when things pop up like this, I can afford to go, because that's what's important to me. Experience is important to me. If I want to go on a vacation, it's important that I could do that and not have to say, oh man, I can't afford it, or it's not in the budget. That's what's important to me. So I live a super low lifestyle, a debt-free lifestyle, a lifestyle where I pay little to no interest on the things in my life. That's why it's important for me to pay off things rather than finance things. And just to keep my money. So I super, super love that he is driving Uber. And at first, I mean, a lot of you are probably saying it. Uber, like that. No, y'all, Uber is paying him more. Now that he's driving Uber full time, he is making more than he made on a day job doing Uber, for real. And he made good money on a day job. He was salary. And of course he had benefits, you know, things like that. But it's like he is making more money, but what I love is he's in control of his time. He is in control of his time. I feel like when you're in control of your own time, you're in control of your destiny, you know, so I love that for him. The fact that G gets to be here for 2 whole weeks, and he's going to pick up A. Marie today, his niece, my cousin. So he's going to pick her up from my cousin. And they're meeting at Kings Dominion, the halfway point. And the fact is, he gets to do that. He gets to spend his time how he wants to spend his time, and I love that. As for me, I'm going into the office all late, y'all. It's 9:08 right now. I have a 9 o'clock meeting. I'm late because Jay felt that because he's off, he would all of a sudden today he wanted to do a morning walk. So we went and did a morning walk this morning, and so clearly we didn't leave early enough. But it was a good little walk. We'd be looking at other properties, getting ideas for the house and property and what we might want to do. He's obsessed with the grass. He wants the grass to be better grass. I agree. I just didn't have no time, but he be having time. Again, the benefits of what he is doing. So I love it. I just don't feel like, you know, we've all been sold the whole get a career, get a this, get a that, pay $1 million trillion for education. I'm not and then you're indebted to that education for a good 20 or so years. I'm over that. I don't think that that's the way to live. I don't. As for me, I do have a day job, but my day job is pretty flexible. I don't have to get permission to be off. I don't have to tell anybody. I don't have to put in a request. So that is super dope. I just got to manage my own vacation time. If I have the time, I can take the time. But also, I also have a job. I work for a company that will allow me to not be paid. Like if I don't have any more vacation time, I can do leave without pay, and that's not an issue either. But they do kind of want you to make hourly goals for the year. You know what I mean? That's what qualifies you as full-time, the hours that you work a year. So they do want you to try to hit that. And y'all know I never have no problem hitting that, because I'm always making up time. And I'm just looking at the time. I've been talking to y'all for 8 minutes now. Y'all rocking, poor things. But I've been talking to y'all for 8 minutes now, and I'm like, I just thought this was gonna be a little short clip where I was gonna say what I'm saying and move along. But I guess this might be its own little video, because so I don't mind so much my predicament, because I did get myself in a great position. I did. And I know that the position I'm in is not afforded to everybody. And you know what I'm saying? Everybody doesn't have this luxury. Like, for one, I have to live in this area, this DC metropolitan area. And two, you have to just have a really squeaky clean background. Like no missteps. And because I live a pretty safe life, and I was never a big risk taker or dabbler in things that I'm scary when it comes to certain things. And then I'm just super blessed. I am, because even the things that I did get caught up in, I don't know if I told you guys before. Matter of fact, I didn't, because I think I made a video. I never edited the video. Here we go again, me making videos that I get too scared to edit. I had a time where I was at work one time at the Pentagon, and I was in the military, and they came and they started reading me my rights. The whole Miranda. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. All of that, y'all. All of that. I was read all the rights. I had to testify. I had to go to court. I had to appear before the grand jury. All of that, y'all. All of that. It's a situation. These Negroes ain't ish. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. But yeah, flashbacks. So not so much that I had a squeaky clean life. I didn't. Obviously, I had a kid at 16 and was on my own 3 months, when he was 3 months old, on my own. Never went back home after that. Was on my own, being an adult, living in this world, trying to finish high school with a baby, barely going to school because I didn't have a babysitter. Then I had ended up with a babysitter who was already expelled from school, a guy who couldn't even go to school because he'd been expelled from all the schools in Virginia Beach school system. And so he became my babysitter. He was a big pothead, all the things, but that was my babysitter. If it wasn't for him, y'all, I don't know if I would have completed high school at that time. So yeah, so it's not so much that I had a squeaky clean life, but I had a blessed life. I had a life where I was favored and protected, so that even my mistakes couldn't hold me down. Even my mistakes. I had so much grace. And this is why, if anybody was following my eviction series, why I extended so much grace to my tenants. Because I know how it is to be in a situation, to be in a circumstance, and all you need is a little help or a little something. And I extended her that grace. But you know what, guys? You can't save everybody. You can't save everybody. So I put myself in a good position by doing the military, by going into the IT field in the military, so getting that training, by pursuing that training and getting certifications in the military, by getting an education in the military and completing that education as soon as I got out the military with the company I started working for, because they had the whole we'll pay, you know, we'll reimburse you for school. So I took them up on that offer and I went to school and got my degrees, more than one. And I did most of all of this with little to no overhead, little to no loans. I was always good about my money. And so because I put myself in this great position, I do make great money, guys. I do make great money. I'm in the neighborhood of around $200,000 a year. The neighborhood. Could be a little more than that, could be a little less than that. But the point is, me trading my hours for dollars is not so bad because I get paid pretty high dollars for my hours. So it's not that bad, right? Whereas, like Jay, he got a job that wasn't paying him that much as far as I'm concerned when it comes to trading your hours for dollars, but they wanted the most. My thing is, if you want the most, at least treat your people well, reimburse your people, pay your people their worth, instead of wanting the most for nothing. They wanted the most for nothing because they had him on salary, but they wanted him to work more than 40-hour work weeks, and he wasn't getting paid extra for any of that. And then he had to beg for permission to be off, you know, all of that. You start off low with the 2-week vacations, 2 weeks vacation a year, all of that stuff. And so I just find that if you're in that predicament, if you're in that kind of situation, you have to look at how you can offset your expenses with your side hustles. We sacrificed, you know, even when Jay had his day job, he was doing Uber. So he would sacrifice his time for his side hustles. I sacrifice my time for my side hustles. These YouTube videos, y'all. This takes up a lot of time. The editing, I wake up super early in the morning. I'm up late at night, editing and getting things together, making videos, talking to y'all while I'm multitasking, driving to work, you know, to make these videos and everything. But this is the sacrifices we make. Look, renting out every extra room in my house so that I don't have privacy like that. I don't have, you know, certain things. I can't walk around naked. But so what? Walking around naked to me wasn't worth the extra money that I'm bringing in. Walking around naked is not paying me anything, right? So we do these sacrifices so that we can have more of what we want. You know, we give up some things so that we can do more of what we want. And so that's what's happening for us right now. And I do want to move toward a place in the future where I do have more of my time as well, whether that means me going part-time and then I have more of my time freed up, because I am moving toward retirement. You know, I'm almost 50. It's almost time for me to retire, guys. And so I've been working towards that and saving up towards that and planning and prepping for that. So yeah. So I say all this to say, Jay off, I'm not.